Alright, in this lesson we're going to be talking about polygons on the coordinate plane. So what we're going to do is we're going to take everything that we know about area and perimeter of triangles and quadrilaterals, and we're going to put it on the coordinate plane, okay? You need to make sure that when you're doing your practice that you have your formula sheet near you if you need it, because you're going to need the same formulas. I won't be introducing any new formulas, but they're important to know because we're going to be using them. So your goal for today is I can determine the perimeter and the area of polygons using my knowledge of the coordinate plane. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So for the first problem, it says use the coordinates to find the length of each side, so the length of each side of the rectangle, then find the perimeter. Okay, so excuse me, I'm sick. So what it's asking you to do is to plot these points on the coordinate plane, and then we're going to find the length of each side and add them all up in order to find the perimeter. So here we go. So we have 1, 7. So we have 1 and then 7. And it's helpful to call it E or F or G or H. And then we have 3, 7. So 3, 7. And then we have 3, 4. And that's going to be G. And then we have 1, 4. And that's I. And so now, using straighter lines than me, you're going to connect them. Okay, so we clearly have a rectangle here. What we need to do now, according to the directions, is to find the length of each side. I need you to think back to when we did the distance between 2 points. So what's the distance between 1, 2 and 1, 3? It's going to be 1 unit. And so we need to go back to using the word units when we're doing a coordinate plane. So the distance from E to F, so I'm going to write E to F equals 2 units. The distance from F to G, 1, 2, is 3 units. So F to G is 3 units. The distance from G to I is 1, 2 units. And the distance from I to E is 1, 2, 3 units. Now we simply add these all up and get our perimeter. So 2 plus 3 is 5, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 plus 5 is 10. So my perimeter is 10 units. Okay? Let's try another example. Alright, use the coordinate plane to find the length of each side of the rectangle and then find the perimeter. So we're going to do something similar here. So we have 2, 7. That's going to be W. Then we have 2, 0. That's going to be X. Then we have 6, 0. That's going to be Y. And then we have 6, 7. And that's right here. And that's going to be Z. We're going to connect the points. With much straighter lines than me. And then find the distance between each of the points. So we're going to do W to Z. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Then we have Z to Y. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. And then we're going to have X to Y. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 units. And then we're going to have x to w, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. And then, to find the perimeter, we're going to add up the length of all the sides. So 4 plus 7 is 11, 4 plus 7 is 11, and 11 plus 11 is going to be 22 units. This word units right here is imperative. It's like writing inches or centimeters. Units is the unit of measure for a coordinate plane, so it's very important. All right, now let's get into area with the coordinate plane. We need to find the area of the figure in square units, okay? First of all, ask yourself, what shape is this? Well, you should say that it is a parallelogram. Okay, write that down. What do you know about the area of a parallelogram? Well, you know that area equals base times height. Okay, so let's fill in what we know. Area equals, how many units is the base? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 5. And then how many units is the height? Remember, you have to go from the lowest point to the highest point. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So area equals 5 times 5 is 25, and my units is units squared. You can also write UN squared if you don't want to write out units. But again, all we did is we just used the formula to find the area of a parallelogram. Now, an interesting point. If you forgot on a test or an EOG or a quiz or something like that how to calculate the area, what is area? We talked about this a long time ago at the beginning of geometry. Area is all of the inside of a shape. So theoretically, you could sit here and count every single box. What gets tricky is when you get to a box like this, or like this, or like this, or even like this, where, you're going to have to start to piece them together to form one. But remember, that's what area is it's the inside of a shape. Okay, now let's look at this compound figure. Find the area of each figure in square units. Well, first off, I see this is a compound figure. I can split it this way, or I can split it this way. I'm going to split it this way. Okay? First, let me identify what I have. I have a rectangle. I think it's a rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I have a rectangle and I have a square. Okay? So first, let me do the rectangle. What do I know about the area of a rectangle? It is area equals base times height. So let me fill in what I know. What is the base of this rectangle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is the height of this rectangle? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the area of the rectangle is area equals 20 units squared. Okay? But then I have this square right here. Okay, so this was the rectangle. Now I have the square. What do I know about a square? Area equals base times height. Okay, so area equals, the base of this square is 1, 2 units, and the height is 1, 2 units. So area equals 2 times 2 is 4, 4 units squared because it's area. But I'm not done yet. I have to add them both together because it's a compound figure. So 20 from the rectangle plus 4 from the square is going to be 24 units squared. And that is your final answer. Okay? Let's look at a triangle now. Now with triangles, you're never really going to be asked to find the perimeter of them. You're usually going to be asked to find the area only, okay? And so now that we know this is a triangle, I'm going to go ahead and write triangle. And it's asking us to find the area in square units, okay? The formula for the area of a triangle is area equals base times height times 0.5. It's okay if you do the base times height divided by 2. It works the same way, okay? So, area equals, what is the base of this triangle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 units. What is the height? Now remember, the height goes from the tallest point to the lowest point. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then times 0.5. When you put that all in your calculator, 6 times 4 times 0.5, you're going to get 12 units squared. Okay? All right, now let's see what we have here. This is another different type of shape. We need to find the area of it in square units. Think about what type of shape this is. Think. If you said trapezoid, you are right. So here I'm going to write trapezoid. Now, what is the formula for the area of a trapezoid? It is area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. So let's fill in what we know. Area equals, okay, base 1, how long is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus base 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Times the height, tallest point to lowest point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divided by 2. Now it's just up to you to do order of operations. 4 plus 7 is 11 times 5 divided by 2. 11 times 5 is 55 divided by 2. And when you do 55 divided by 2, I have my calculator here, you're going to get 27.5. And because it's area, it's going to be units squared. All right. So, let's do these two. Graph each figure, so it's not telling us what it is, and classify it. That means tell me what shape it is. Then find the area. Okay? So here we're going to do 3, 6, 9, 3, oops, and 5, 3. Okay, so let's connect all the dots. Again, yours will be much straighter than mine. And it looks like we have a triangle there. So I'm going to write triangle. And I need you to ask yourself, is this obtuse, meaning greater than 90 degrees, or acute? You should, or right. You should say that it is obtuse. Okay? Let's find the area. So over here is where I'm going to do my calculation. So area equals base times height times 0.5. Now what is the base? 1, 2, 3, 4 units. What is the height? This is tricky. Tallest point to lowest point. Okay? So from all the way up here to all the way down here. 1, 2, 3 times 0.5. When you put 4 times 3 times 0.5 in your calculator, you're going to get 6, and so the area is 6 units squared. Okay? Let's try this one here. So we have negative 1, comma, negative 1. Negative 1, comma, negative 1. Then we have negative 1, positive 3. Negative 1, positive 3. Then we have 2, comma, 4. 2, comma, 4. And then we have 2, comma, negative 3. Okay, connect all your lines. All right, you should recognize that as a trapezoid. And if you need to kind of turn your head to look at it, you might need to. This is base 1, this is base 2, this is the height. Okay? So let's, we want to go ahead and call it a trapezoid. And then we're going to go ahead and do our calculation. So area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. So area equals, how long is base 1? Remember to find the bases, by the way. How do you know that these are the bases and not these? Well, the bases are the parallel lines in the trapezoid. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 4 plus base 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The height is 1, 2, 3 divided by 2. Order of operations, parentheses first, 11 times 3 divided by 2. Area equals, well, 11 times 3 is 33 divided by 2. Area equals, let's see, 33 divided by 2 is going to give you 16.5. And so your area is 16.5 units squared. Okay? And those are the answers to what we just did. All right, you go ahead and try these, and I'm going to do them at the same time. Now, this is not asking you to classify. This is asking you first for perimeter and then for area. So keep in mind that the perimeter is the distance around, and our directions tell us that these are all going to be rectangles. Okay? All right, you go ahead and do it, and I'll do it as well. All right. If you're not done, go ahead and hit pause. And if you are done, let's talk about it. So you should have gotten something that looks like this with straighter lines. The perimeter was 20 units, but the area was 21 units squared. Over here, you should have gotten another rectangle that was more centered in the coordinate plane. You should have gotten 18 units for the perimeter and 20 units squared for the area. Okay, now we have a word problem. Anika is hiking a rectangular, here's a hint, trail at the national park. There were 4 resting spots along the corners of the trail. On the map, they are marked with the coordinates -2, 2, 1, 2, 1, -2, and -2, -2. If each unit represents 1 mile, find the area and the perimeter of the trail in miles using the coordinates. So, our units here, even though we're using a coordinate plane, they're not going to be units because it's telling us that each unit is a mile. So our units at the end are going to be miles. So let's first graph these points. So we have -2 up 2. We have 1 up 2. We have 1 -2. And we have -2 -2. So we're going to make that a rectangle like it says. So first it wants the perimeter. So this side is 1, 2, 3. And if that's 3, then this must be 3. And this side is 1, 2, 3, 4. And if this side is 4, this side must also be 4. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 plus 3 is going to be 14. So your perimeter is 14 miles. Okay, oops, not units, miles. And what's your area? Well, this is a rectangle, so it's area equals base times height. Area equals your base is 3, and your height is 4. So area equals 12, so it's going to be 12 miles squared. Okay. All right. There's our answers. Okay, you try this one. This one's a little bit more complicated, but I bet you can do it. Remember, you're finding distance between the different points. So you go ahead and read, and I'll do it as well. All right, if you are not done, go ahead and pause the video, but if you are done, what it was asking you to do is not find the perimeter, not find the area. It was talking about an apartment building, and it was asking you to find the difference between points in the apartment building. And so you should have gotten 7 units, 6 units, 7 units, 6 units. And I think a lot of you ended up doing what I did, is once you drew the shape, you ended up labeling west roof, west floor, east floor, because that made it a lot easier. Okay? Alright, that is the end of this video. You can always go back and rewind, or always ask me questions in class.